Welcome to Keeping It Real, Estate with the Twins Group, your source of real and simple tips in navigating the real estate industry.
Good morning, I'm Kelly Howard.
And I'm Kristy and this is Keeping It Real Estate with the Twins Group. So today, Kelly and I wanted to go over some questions and answers. We get a lot of questions, especially now with people starting to get back into the workplace and people kind of trying to find a new norm. We've been asked a lot of questions with regards to the real estate industry and kind of merging back into it. So Kelly and I thought we would take this opportunity to maybe go over some of the top questions that we get asked and get some answers. So it's kind of like the dating game. I'm aging ourselves,
With
but
Kristy and Kelly.
Number one, how do I know if I can qualify to purchase a home and how much can I qualify for?
Okay, so pre-qualification. I know for those of you that watch our podcast, I cannot tell you how many times we say over and over pre-qualification. If you are looking to purchase a home and you're starting the process, the first step in the process is to get pre-qualified. Contact your mortgage professional, hopefully that's Kristy or I, and ask about pre-qualification. The process is very simple. In most cases, you can fill out an online application. Pretty much everything is done online. For those of you who are still wanting to social distance and stay inside, it can all be done virtually. But the application process is very simple. In our case, it'll take about 3 to 5 minutes to fill out the online application. Once we receive that information, we will then we do pull credit and start doing a pre-qualification based on the information provided on the loan application. But that first step will basically tell you what type of loan program you qualify for and how much money down. I believe that is actually one of the questions that we get asked a lot.
Yes.
Is how much money is required.
Do I have to put money down?
Right.
That was actually my second question.
And how much money is required down. So really, once we go in and we start looking at credit and we see what income is, that gives us a better idea of what type of loan program we want to put you in, how much your down payment is going to be, and basically what you qualify for. I will tell you that most sellers will not even accept an offer right now without a pre-qualification. So that is very important. And if you have not contacted a realtor, that's going to be one of the first things the realtor asks is, have you been pre-qualified and have you visited with a lender?
So, and what I will say to that also is we have 7 loan officers in our office and they are all available on the weekends and able to give you and your realtor a pre-qualification letter. So if you need one, you're out looking for homes, you need one for the weekend, reach out to us and we can get that for you. And I believe Holden will be putting our phone number and contact information up after the show or towards the end of the show.
And that's a good point. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Especially right now, we are getting into the busy season, and even with COVID and the little bit of lull that we found the last couple of months, we're busier than ever. Sellers right now, houses are on the market. I mean, we are busy. They are accepting offers. So right now is really a good time. If you've been thinking about buying a home, if you're looking to get pre-qualified, we do work. Not only do I work on the weekends, but our loan officers do as well, because we recognize people are working during the week. It's hard for people to get away. So we do work pretty much 7 days a week. We have the ability to. If you do have questions on the weekend or you need a pre-qualification, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Between 7 of us, someone can definitely get a pre-qualification out for you.
So my next question was going to be, do I have to put money down when I'm purchasing a home? And you basically kind of answered yes. Get with your lender, your preferred lender, and they will help identify a loan program for you that will identify how much you have to put down.
Absolutely. And I do want to make a point on that too. If you did get pre-qualified prior to COVID and you just maybe kind of went dormant for a little bit and are now deciding to get back in the swing of things, you really do need to talk with your lender about the loan program that you were initially pre-qualified for and your money down, because during COVID, many of the loan programs didn't necessarily change, but some of the companies Some of the mortgage companies are carrying different loan programs. So that's something to ask your loan officer. But if you did get pre-qualified, let's say in January or February, you definitely want to look at getting that pre-qualification updated. And that way everything is current and you're ready to go when you do find a home.
Perfect. So next question, contestant. What do I do if an appraisal comes in on a house that I'm purchasing, if it comes in high or if it comes in too low? What do I need to do?
Okay, so basically every purchase that we have, you'll have an appraisal, and the appraisal is basically just to give you the value of the home. And it is required on, if you are getting a mortgage, we do require an appraisal. If the appraisal happens to come in low, we'll really address that. Obviously, if it comes in high, that's great, good, we move on down the road. But if the appraisal comes in below sales price, what we will do is notify you as well as your realtor to let them know or let you know that the price value did come in below the sales price. And at that point, it will be up to you and your realtor to either go back to the seller, seller's agent, and renegotiate that price. You know, we are seeing a lot of multiple offers right now. And although I would say 99% of the appraisals that we're getting back are perfectly fine, we haven't really seen an issue with that. But as we start seeing more multiple offer situations, every now and again, we do tend to run into that where the appraised value does come in less than the sales price. So what I would say is at that point, that's definitely a conversation to have with your realtor. And in the event that happens, that would be something that you would need to talk to your realtor on how you want to handle that if it does come in low.
So I know the answer to this, but for question's sake, if it comes in low, can I only get the loan amount for the appraised value, but can I pay more for the house if I really want it?
Sure. I mean, you know, a home is worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it. And so if the appraisal comes in lower than the sales price, again, that's a conversation to have with your realtor. And as the buyer, you always have the option to pay that difference, but the loan will be based on the appraised value. And but again, if as the consumer, if you choose to pay more and above that, then that's certainly a conversation to have with your realtor. And also let your realtor know if you are in a multiple offer situation, what you are willing to pay above that, or what that amount is in the event it does come in low. There is an affidavit or an amendment, to the contract that can be attached to it on the appraisal. And so that's something that's the conversation definitely to have with your realtor.
Okay, next question. What is an escrow account and do I have to have one?
Very good question. Again,
Okay,
so yes, a lot of people do ask about this. And so what an escrow account is, an escrow account is an account that is set up at the time the mortgage is set up to pay for taxes and insurance. And if you're putting more than 20% down, you are not required to have an escrow account. If your down payment is less than 20%, you are required to have an escrow account with Supreme Lending. And so what that includes is we collect upfront your homeowner's insurance. We collect 2 months for your homeowner's insurance, and then we also collect taxes upfront to set up that escrow account so that when those items are due, we have that money in your escrow account. Now, your hazard insurance, when you close at the time of closing, you do pay for 12 months upfront. So it's kind of like insurance. Hazard insurance is paid upfront, and so you're always a year ahead, where taxes are paid in arrears. So tax bills come out in October, and the money that's in your escrow account is used to pay that total tax. And those are usually paid out in December, first part of December, last part of December. Now, when you close, you will get a credit from the seller for the time period from the first of the year to day of closing.
So let's say for example, I'm going to close in May.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only responsible for taxes from May forward.
Correct.
But I'm going to have to pay for the full year, goes into my escrow account, but that seller is going to credit me the money from January to May. Is that correct?
Correct. So the escrow account will be set up keeping in mind that the tax bill comes out in October. And a lot of people do ask when they see their estimates, well, why am I paying into an escrow account? That's a lot of money to have to pay up front. But the reason for that is because it sets the escrow account up so that the money is in that escrow account when the tax bills come out and the taxes are due and payable. Now, because the seller does give a credit from the first of the year to day of closing, that credit basically offsets the first, we're in June right now, first 6 months of taxes that we're collecting into the escrow account. And that credit is given at the time of closing. So if you do have any questions about that or you're unclear how that works, please feel free to reach out to us and ask us about it. We can walk you through that. And certainly if we're handling your loan, walk you through that as well.
Perfect. All right. Last question. What is title insurance and do I have to have it?
I love okay, so yes. Now, if you have a mortgage, you are required to carry title insurance. And if you're paying cash for a transaction, that's, title insurance is your choice. My recommendation is never to purchase a home without title insurance. And the easiest way, people ask me all the time, I have no idea what title insurance is. So the easiest way that I can explain title insurance is this. We pay every single month for health insurance in the event something happens in the future. Title insurance protects consumers against any encumbrances, liens, or flaws to title that are in the past.
When you say flaws to title to what?
It could be tax liens. It could be, and just anything, really, just any title issues that may come up that weren't found at the time of closing. And it does happen. So on the lending side, lenders do require that you have a mortgagee title policy and an owner's title policy, and they are when you have a loan, they're simultaneous. So it's all included in the cost, in the closing cost. Cost of the title policy is a negotiable fee. It's negotiable in the contract, and either the buyer or seller can pay for it. When you are writing up a contract with your realtor, ask your realtor about that. It is negotiable, and it is part of the contract. But title insurance is very, very important to have. 30 days after closing, you'll receive that title policy, and that's something you want to hold on to. That will show the new borrower in title, and will also show that it's free and clear of any liens on the title. So it's very, very important to have, and it is a requirement.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. We have title background, and you definitely want title insurance.
Yes,
definitely. So, okay. So with that, we could go on and on with questions that we get asked. But one of the things I do want to say in wrapping up is, right now, one of our precious friends, Lindsay, was on the show a couple weeks ago, and they've been looking for a home and working with one of our great realtors, Lori and Katie, and they lost a home. They were outbid on a home. And so what I want to say is this, is that, the market's going to get more competitive, and it's going to be a little more challenging to get those offers in. But remember that if you lose a home, there's a better one out there or a better fit. When we were realtors long time ago, we would always say that to our clients. They'd be so upset if they lose a home, but then they'd end up finding the perfect home, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so glad that the first one didn't work out." So always keep that in mind, but also keep location in mind when you're looking. I told Lindsay, drive around the neighborhood. Really feel it. Really feel the area, and make sure that the area is right. We're in a really different environment, different time right now. 2020 has been a challenging year in many, many ways, but I think we're heading down the road to some positive times, some positive things to be, and it's definitely a good time to purchase, buy, or refinance.
Absolutely.
So, we hope that you will give us a call if you are in the need of a loan or a refinance. Purchasing and selling is very personal. This is very personal business, and Kelly and I love to provide that custom personal service, as does our team. So we would love to serve you and help guide you through the process.
And wrapping up, I do want to say, if you fell during this COVID, if you were furloughed temporarily or laid off temporarily and were in the process of purchasing a home and had to put that on hold, I know most people are starting to kind of get back into work. Now's a great time. Do not let that keep you from moving forward with pre-qualification. Certainly, especially if you're back at work and you are working your regular hours, don't delay the process because of what happened during that COVID area, because everybody right now, I know any of our competitors, we've talked to everyone's being very, very understanding about it and working with our borrowers. So make sure if for some reason you delayed that, check with either us or check with your lender and ask what the policies are on that. But certainly do not keep that from reaching out to your realtor and getting the process started. We certainly would greatly appreciate the opportunity to work with you. And if you do have questions about pre-qualification or you would like to get pre-qualified, please do not hesitate. Give us a call. And we definitely look forward to serving you. And
why don't you share your number, share your phone number, and you can reach us at Kelly's email is kelly.howard@supremelending.com.
And my number is 469-396-7680. And I do believe that Holden's also going to put that information up so you can write it down. But give us a call. We'd love to hear from you and just keep things going in our market.
Yes, and everyone stay safe, be well, be healthy, and hopefully we're all heading down a road of some more prosperous, happy times. So with that, thank you so much for joining us, and we always wish you well, and remember to keep it real. Bye.
Bye.